This is Thomas, and Thomas makes $73,000 per month with his AI-driven agency at just 21 years old. Probably one of the best agencies in his niche. How much did you do this month?
72.5.
But the craziest part is that just 1 year ago, he was doing only $20,000 a month.
What were you doing like a year ago? 20-ish K a month.
In this interview, we talk about how to grow and scale an AI-driven agency and how he leveraged AI to triple his agency this year.
So when I moved to Miami, I was making 30K a month. There you go. Then 60 days, I was at 130K a month.
We go over everything from scaling techniques, the state of SMMA in the agency space, and how to grow and break past those plateaus.
Yeah, but he thought I was a fraud. But there were some pretty shit tools that I purchased. Delayed gratification is the most important thing. Like, he's a real person, like he's not AI.
And we give you the step-by-step blueprint on how to build an AI-driven agency in 2025.
So what tools are you using right now?
That's a lot of sauce. All right, guys, I'm here with the one and only detail dominator himself, Mr. Tomas Olek. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's going on, bro?
Man, so if you guys don't know, Tomas Olek runs probably one of the best agencies in his niche and just hit, how much did you do this month?
72.5.
72.5 and some change. So, brother, what was it like? This is your best month, right? It's your best month so far?
Yeah, this is my best month.
So what did it take to hit a level of 72 plus K in a single month?
What it really took for me personally, like this month, ad spend wise, I didn't even crank that much ad spend, realistically. What I really lived off of this month, and I was kind of hoping for it, and I also kind of like planned it to be like this way, is purely referrals. I got a ton of referrals. We had to crank down our referral program because we were getting too many referrals. So
Wait, what?
yeah, no, because basically we were offering referral programs and that we were giving a certain amount of money back to the client that referred this one person. And considering the fact that we were getting so many people that were actually relieving their retainers, we were like, yo, we got to chillax a little bit. So then we cranked it down a tiny bit just so we could save more cash for ourselves, but then also get the same amount of referrals.
Nice, man. So I know that for most people, they're just running these quick cash grab, burn style agencies. Not anybody in our group, of course, right? But when you say that you barely spent any ad spend and you relied only on referrals, what did you spend in ad spend this last month?
I think I was spending around like $400 a day. So I cranked it down a slight bit. I was sitting at around like $700 a day. 800. I've done $1,000 a day as well. But then I cranked it down to like $700 a day. I'm only running pure testimonial ads as well. It's like not even any not even any like crazy offers or anything. No offer on my ad, no offer on my landing page, nothing. Just pure testimonial. People inquire, get a little bit less leads, but then obviously the people that we talk to are a lot higher quality people, a lot easier to close.
That's interesting because the testimonial ads, they tend to have a longer evergreen cycle.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Like Hormozy's talked about this with his best gym launch ad of all time, which was Kale Owen, now the CEO, basically saying in front of his gym, say, hey, I used gym launch. They made me X amount of money. So they just rinse that one to death. But I feel like a lot of people don't run those. Maybe because one, they don't actually have the testimonials. Or you guys don't know this, but a quick hack, if you don't have testimonials, you can go to Thomas's testimonials, take the testimonials, cut him out of them, and then replace
You should do that
in the video.
You could do that, but
True story.
you're not going to last too long if you do that.
Yeah, that's a true story, right?
Yeah, no, it is a true story. It happened to me too many times. Like, I remember this one time, one of the clients that I work with now, he came to me and he actually thought that I was the fraud. He was like, you were copying this guy's testimonials. I was like, there's no way. On the demo, I was like, yo, give me this guy's name. He gave me his name, went on his page, and he's clearly running my, and I'm like, yo, this makes no sense. On the call, I had to call that client and be like, yo, this is what's happening. Who's in the truths here, right? So it was like pissing me off. And not only that, but he thought I was a fraud. So I was like, and then he was obviously like, yo, I work with Thomas. I've never worked with this guy. And he started laughing. But yeah.
That's wild, man. And I've heard some crazy stories, but that's definitely a topic.
I call you pissed off.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, this 1 month it was happening like 5, 6.
And what do I say? And what do I say every time? Get used to it.
Brother, like it gets to the point where it's like, I had a client today when we were at the restaurant, obviously this morning, and one of my clients called me. He was like, they all like call me and they start laughing about these other agencies calling them, right? And then he was like, this one guy called me and then asked me if I'm working with you and started asking questions about you because he's another company. My client was like, yo, bro, you're supposed to ask questions about me to sell me instead of asking questions about the company that I'm working with to say that you're better than them, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, it's just all.
That's wild. And it's probably one of the most copied people in this space. I can definitely understand the frustrations with that.
Yeah.
Like I've made small changes to my funnels and then gotten messages in an hour like, yo, how did that perform for you? I'm like, bro, it's like, dude, ridiculous.
They were like, do your own thing, bro. Like all you have to do is just lock in on yourself and you'll be just as successful, if not more, bro.
I know, guys, I run a program called Steal My Agency, but that doesn't mean that you have to go out and literally steal my agent.
Yeah, so you start a chiropractor agency and just copy Nathan's stuff.
And copy Nathan's stuff, or start a detailing agency and copy Thomas's stuff, man.
Or your dad.
So you've had a pretty, successful run this past like year or so, especially. What were you doing like a year ago from today?
A year ago, I was probably sitting out on like 20-ish K a month. I spiked up a little bit more towards the end of the year, only considering the fact that I was selling more like paid in fulls. But I kind of like went away from that route just because the influx of it was kind of not that appealing to me. So then I just kind of went pure retainers only, just month to month, which helped me out significantly because then it increased my LTV. We have to dial in way more on our clients that we're working with currently because they're going to renew at the end of the month, right? We obviously don't want them to leave. So it helped me out with my LTV, but then also with that, there's not too much influx in my business. It's definitely just way more steady growth moving forward.
And what is your biggest point of feedback for going from like 10, 20K, which is probably the most common place I see people get stuck at? Most people at 10, 20K are also making enough money where they get soft and then they pull back. But what was the key factors that got you from 20K a month to now like 70K plus a month?
Yeah, I'll give two factors. One is just life-oriented. Other one is actually agency-oriented. I'd say life-oriented, expanding your horizons and coming to different places and make yourself feel uncomfortable. Now, like in Miami, like it's pretty normal, but like when I first started, I was like 20K. My first trip to Miami, I remember it was like the Miami effect, but I think I had like 25 or 30K that month. It was like crazy to me. So definitely make yourself feel more comfortable, getting out of your hometown helps you out significantly. And the second one, agency focus. I personally think that instead of getting better at sales and getting better at sales, just get better at marketing in general, right? The better you get at marketing, the better your client results are, the more testimonials you get, the happier the clients, the more referrals, instead of just getting better at sales purely. And then what? Like you just have to sell. You have to sell your shit product instead of just getting better at what you do best.
I love that. Talking about Miami effect, when I moved to Miami, I was making 30K a month.
There you go.
Within 60 days, I was at 130K a month.
There you go. Right? It's crazy. Especially like, obviously, Miami's a really nice place. I like Miami a lot because it's on the Eastern Standard Time zone, but there's also really nice places in Cali and stuff that you could.
I have seen it though. The Miami effect can go one of two ways. It either like really helps people rock it off, or they party too much, just fuck off and then kill their businesses and then they move back to their hometown, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
I've seen that as well.
Don't let that happen to you, bro. There's a lot of distractions here too.
Yeah. And the second thing that you mentioned was probably my favorite point around just getting better at marketing.
Yeah.
Especially when, I don't know, you run a business that's a marketing agency. Maybe you think that you need to get pretty good at marketing.
100%.
Right? And it's like you could be the best sales guy in the world.
Yeah.
But if you only have one lead in your CRM every month, you're closing one deal.
Exactly. It's the same thing, right? Like most people, they always resort to sales training instead of just looking to get better at marketing because they think they're already like capped out like marketing goats, but they're not.
Exactly. And I've never done any formal sales training ever, right? And I've done 6 figures in personal one-on-one sales myself, closing all the deals, right? Because I focus all my time, energy, effort on marketing.
100%.
And a lot of the ways that marketing and sales interact is actually similar, because marketing is sales. Sales is a little bit of marketing, but sales is one-on-one and marketing is one-to-many. So you're just selling one-to-many instead of sitting there selling one-to-one.
100%.
I'd rather do one-to-many personally, because when I did a webinar like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I did $40,000 in 2 hours, I was like, okay, like if I can sell, bro, we're gonna pay 2 hours one-to-many versus one-on-one sales, I'll go with this all day long.
Yeah, I mean, when we're selling a program, it's the webinar.
Let's see, you can't really do the webinar.
I wish.
I would not recommend it. You're going to have to crank out sales calls 24/7 like this guy. I mean, unfortunately, it's a Saturday and you got how many more calls still left for the day?
4 more. I had to reset one.
Okay, so you might have to come back after the podcast, guys, and update the total number for the month.
Yeah,
right?
I could do that.
We'll have to add a little adjustment in there as well too, man.
Yeah.
But okay, so really dialing into the marketing helped you get from like 20 to around the 73K.
Yep.
What are some like lessons that you've learned hitting and evolving into a 70K a month owner?
The biggest thing, I guess, that I see wrong, I don't really coach too many agencies, so I don't really see like point of views. I only see like really point of views from like my friends and stuff that talk about their agencies.
You coached enough.
I mean, like a little bit, but I coached a little bit, but like I haven't really like dissected an agency like one on one on a call. You know, I answer questions and such. But I think the biggest thing for people that are missing, I guess, like they want to get to the next level, it really just boils down to making sure that you have a good relationship with your clients, right? And that was one thing for me that I felt that I was missing out on as I scaled, right? So that's why I had to get a really good CS to replace me on that aspect, because I feel like when I was first starting out, and the biggest turn of events is churn, right? Churn is going to happen regardless, right? You could be the GOAT and you're still going to have, 5% churn, if not less, right? But that was the biggest thing for me, is keeping the relationship with my clients, because that's what I felt at the start. I try to just keep the relationship, always talk to them, stuff like that. But then you're taken away from your business and you can't scale it up further.
And that's so important too, because I've seen that like in that situation
Hmm.
where I used to know like what my clients had for breakfast every
Yep.
day, right?
Yep.
But to grow and scale and deliver the product that you know that you have to pull yourself back.
Yep.
Because you'll realize that you're the limiting factor of your business by forcing yourself to do this. And I've noticed you're the same like me.
And you know who taught me that?
Yeah. Right. Because you're the same like me, where you're really stubborn and you're so high level in terms of skill sets and output
Yeah.
that you just want to take over and do everything yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. And I have those urges all the time. But I know that to build a business, to get my clients the results that I want, I have to remove myself from these pieces. And now it's like I used to have a log of what my clients have for breakfast every day. But now I have clients that sign with us, launch with us, and been with us for a few months. I don't even know their names.
That's the thing. That's the point that I want to get to, right? I can easily say that I am a stubborn person. I like to do things myself, because I feel like even if I do it really quick, I can still do it better than somebody else, which isn't always the case. But that's something that we're trying to focus on now, is really just kind of cleaning up everything, making it a little bit more system processes in place, so that I can remove myself and keep focusing on pumping out a better product, instead of just me just me doing everything myself, which I can still do pretty well. But, factors come in place and it doesn't always end up the best way that it should.
So I have another interesting kind of switch point, right? What at 70K a month,
Yeah.
what are you doing in terms of AI?
We're definitely, the thing with AI, especially when working with Nathan, is he gives us so much information with AI that like you want to implement everything all at once. So you start building everything out slightly, but you need to like dial in on building out each thing. You could agree, right?
Yeah, there you go. Great point. Great. I want to touch on that too. It's like I love AI and I love operations, but you don't want to over AI for the sake of it. Yes, bro. I don't need to have AI make my toast in the morning every single day, right? That's cool, but it's not high leverage.
Exactly.
Focus on the bottlenecks, the problems that your business is having,
Yeah.
and then introduce AI as those strategic
Bro,
solutions.
there's so many AI softwares coming out so quick. It's almost scary,
Yeah.
because it's like it's coming out like every week. There's a new one that's like really good, and if not, it gets better and better. So we're definitely building out a lot of things in AI, replacing a lot of employees with AI. But first, building it out to the standard that we feel as if it's comfortable, giving it to our clients first, and then implementing it in. So definitely a lot of testing. I usually probably sit on ChatGPT for around an hour a day, and then build out AI for around 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
Every day. And then obviously, I wish I could just implement it in right now, but since I care, I'm not going to do that, of course.
So what have you been implementing?
First is definitely replacing the ad creators with AI. That's going to be a huge one. Obviously, the personal ad creators, if a client has really good ad creators, we'll still keep it that way.
Yeah.
But for the clients that don't have really good ad creators, AI is going to be the best replacement for that. Definitely chatbots, and they're making sure that, the texting that is done is through AI. I feel like AI's follow-ups are a lot stronger. The replies are really good, but obviously you have to prompt it in the right way for that to be a possibility. And then calling as well. We haven't got to the point yet that the calling can still sell the jobs, but still building it out, getting the infrastructure first before obviously dispatching it to the clients as well.
Yeah, because yours isn't like a medical where it's just setting appointments and the doctors close. Like if you're selling a PPF or ceramic coating over the phone, once they walk into the shop, they're basically sold. Like they're gonna buy.
Yep.
So the more interactive your sales has to be over the phone, the harder it is for AI to implement.
Yep.
But it's coming very soon, and
Exactly.
it's nice to.
But making sure that you still have the infrastructure built out so that when it does release, like you already have everything to go and you're the first one to go.
Exactly, and that's why I would test in like Air AI bots like 2 years ago, which is like absolutely freaking
Bro,
nuts, right?
that was terrible.
No,
Terrible. No.
well, yeah, they got like
Pretty bad.
FTC slapped, they got sued, like it's a bunch of crazy shit. Okay, so when it comes to AI in your business, you talk about creative, and creative is arguably like the most important piece because, as you know, as a high level media buyer, right, we're moving to Advantage Plus everything, Advantage campaign budgets. Facebook wants us to just pop in the ads and then go, right? So creative is the most important aspect of the business, and it's still our last thing as agencies that we can hold on to.
Yeah.
So, what are you doing in terms of AI to leverage more creative, better results?
For creatives in particular, it's definitely just learning how to prompt, especially. I know we were earlier today, Nathan says a really good point is you want to keep prompting really simple, which I was trying to overcomplicate. Like I was like doing every little meticulous thing that I want in the creative to be prompted, but you want to keep prompts really simple so that obviously you get the best outcome of it all. But it's definitely learning how to prompt and making sure you create prompt SOPs. But basically making process around it so that you don't have to do it anymore, but then your guys can do it for you and making sure you have everything organized and you get really good at it. So then you can obviously delegate it to an employee so he does it just as good as you.
And I noticed in the groups, I've been saying this a lot recently, but the goal is to either create an automation or a human delegation where you have somebody on your team that's just feeding you AI driven creatives.
Yep.
Like here's 100 images a day, here's 20 videos a day with different angles. And then you as a high level like marketing manager, CMO type are almost sorting through
Yep.
the AI slop to find those killers.
Yep.
Because you can absolutely have AI ads that crank, right? Like VO3 came out last week. Within 24 hours, I had ran an ad. I'd scripted it, I launched it, but it's really interesting to see that now it's not going to necessarily replace us, but it's like the people that have the AI
Know how to use it. Those are the people that are going to benefit the most from it. AI is huge, bro.
AI is huge. AI can over. You guys heard it, right?
Take it over.
But when it comes to like AI creatives, right, you mentioned a really good point, which is the prompting, right? A lot of people complicate the prompting.
Yep.
They make it like super intricate, but I just found it. If you can't get it off of a simple prompt, like give me a video of a dentist sitting in office saying this script. If you can't get it off of a simple prompt, it's probably not going to work and it's going to hallucinate a little bit and go crazy. Sometimes those hallucinations are pretty cool.
They're pretty cool. You can maybe put them in your benefit, but you got to try it out first.
You got to try it out, right? So outputting a ton of volume, having somebody in your agency to produce a ton of creative is extremely important, right? I know there's tools like Icon AI that allow you to like, they'll send you 100 ads every morning or something.
Like, I literally don't know all these AI tools. Yeah. Like you were sitting there, you were explaining these AI tools. I'm like, all right, bro, now I have to go home and do another one. Then I need to buy another one. So,
and this is important because I think a lot of people in the 20 to 70K range are going to get stuck in this mindset of like, nah, what I'm doing is working and I'm making money.
And that was the biggest thing for me too, is I was always stuck up on the fact of like employees can do it better.
Right.
But they honestly can't. I did like back when I was thinking that, like maybe like a year ago-ish, I was like, yeah, employees can definitely do this better. I'd rather just hire more employees. But it gets to a point where you're like, yo, try to make some more money, bro.
Yeah.
So the only way to get more money from what you're making right now is to delegate it to a robot or somebody to do it cheaper.
Because I pulled my P&L from a month where I hit exactly like almost 100K. It was like 101 and some change. Yeah. Right. And I broke down the margins of the previous agency. It was at 100K. We had 36K in margins, which sounds good to a lot of people. That's 36%.
Yeah, dude. It's not that good.
I was paying 8K for like CSMs, 2 PSMs, closers, 20K on the call center alone.
Yep.
Right. So all these expenses, and now redoing and organizing as a more AI agency, it's basically like maybe a CSM, maybe a closer, and an AI.
I mean, an
operator, and you can run 100.
Yeah. I mean, you put something good in the group. It was like the automated, like the CSM bot.
Yeah.
That you created, which is pretty sick. But that's like, for me, how I'm going to approach it is like, I'm not going to just delegate my whole CSM and just remove him.
Yes.
Because I still want checking calls, I still want these things. But doing that so that he could spend more time doing the things that matter even more than just like answering a message or two.
Exactly, and that's a big point, right? Your key positions, it allows them to do their job more effectively. So now that CSM can manage more accounts
Yeah.
and get better results.
Exactly.
He's not managing these dumbass questions like, hey, can you send me a link to the spreadsheet or whatever that
100%.
delay so much of CSM's time. So those automations are pretty cool. And I think I almost have a responsibility because a lot of people don't know what you can do with AI now.
Yeah.
And it's these new technologies and softwares are dropping every fucking day that are going to keep dropping.
That's why Nathan gets paid the big bucks, bro, because he stays on top of giving me the knowledge that I don't want to just sit there and research and try to watch a YouTube video of someone explaining it, and maybe it's good, but then you're actually here sitting and trying it.
Absolutely, brother. And I think that's really important too. So, CSM bot's been pretty cool. Creative side of things has been pretty cool. Anything else you're using AI for inside the business?
I feel like it's really just for me in particular when it comes to AI, because I'm really meticulous and I want to make sure everything's done correctly. I would say just finding out the best softwares for each thing, right? Because there's a ton of softwares for chatbots, ton of softwares for calling, there's a ton of softwares for everything. But trying to find out that like one software out of all of them that you feel is best, right? The ones that sometimes are the easiest to set up isn't always the best software to use.
Absolutely. Like, especially when people get into like AI callers, right? There's two trains of thoughts, right? Is I want the AI that's also the most effective, like it's me the best result, but I also need it to be streamlined, operational,
Without a doubt.
easy to use.
Well,
So it's effectiveness versus efficiency.
it gets all over the place. But when you start using the webhooks and then what's the other one? NDA. Yeah, that one, bro. You're not using that one yet. Or that was fire though.
But here's the thing too, is what's crazy is like AI allows you to compound a lot of those tools faster. So a lot of people see my crazy workflows and automations and it's like they get overwhelmed and it's a lot. But here's the thing, dude, you can use AI to build AI.
That's what I use now. You always have one side of the computer that's ChatGPT, the other side of the computer is building something else. Yeah, it's ChatGPT, and then you build it on the other side.
Yeah, exactly. And you can ask ChatGPT to literally build you out the entire workflow automation and then send you the N8N file. And it will copy that code. You upload that code to make Zapier N8N, and it just made the whole automation for you.
Like, I don't even know, guys. Like, yeah, it's fire though. But I'm gonna rewatch this. I'm gonna watch myself on the TV. Like, damn, I need to put that back in there.
Damn, that was good too, you know? But again, I think that's a pretty good thing too. It's like AI is just slowly cutting out parts of the process, right? It just slowly keeps on cutting out parts of the process. Because now we're transforming from generative AI,
Yeah.
which is like generating responses and predictive responses, your LLMs that you know today.
Yeah.
And we're moving to agentic AI, which is the AI agents that will be able to go in and actually do things for you.
Yeah.
Because right now, like, you just have an input to ChatGPT, the LLM, and it produces an output. It's just a predictive text model.
Yep.
But what we're going to see next is now you can have an input into an AI and it can cross-reference all these different things. So if I want to, for example, book a vacation, it can cross-reference my Google Calendar so it can see my availability. It can also go in and check in my previous history to understand my interests, maybe look at my Airbnb previous bookings to see what type of places I like, and then decide from there what would be the best output. And right now that's the limiting factor. But here's the thing, when you think about that, right, agentic AI being able to do a lot of those tasks, every Filipino VA is about to be cooked, right?
Yeah.
Every VA.
They're good at something. They're always good at something. You always fit them in somewhere, which that's part of the.
And I've been telling, like, I got a lot of Filipinos. I got love for Filipinos. There's a lot on my team. My team is probably 66% Filipino. No,
Really?
yeah, my entire team. Yeah. So because you know, they're great, but the thing is, I've been empowering them to be like, hey, you guys need to learn these AI tools. I made it mandatory in my company that 1 hour a day you are spending on AI tools, every single position in the company, no matter what they're doing. And I do it selfishly for us to get better output, but also unselfishly for them to help future pace themselves.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, look, if you don't learn how to understand these AI tools that'll do your job, I will either learn them myself and replace you, or I will find somebody that knows how to implement those tools and end up replacing you. But I want to empower them because they're my employees and they work hard for us. But it's crazy to think about, like, I've already unfortunately had to let people go because I can replace their positions with AI. And it's like tough feeling to let these people go. I hand them off to other agencies and I have a good network. So we always take care of them, of course, but this is a real rude awakening that's going to happen in society over the next 1 to 2 years.
Yep.
We're going to shoot up in a lot of employment, right? And it's going to be difficult because the typical entry-level white-collar jobs are going to be the ones that are eliminated.
Yeah.
So it's like this gap where most people need to do those entry-level jobs to build up, but there are no entry-level jobs anymore. So how are they going to chunk up to that next level?
You got to be good at prompting AI, bro.
Yeah,
You have to start using AI.
dude, if only there was some kind of like program that would like teach them the information.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like you gotta like click the link below.
Like click the link below or something.
And then use code Tomas Olek at checkout, and then
I'll get a referral. Tomas Olek at checkout. Absolutely, man. So I think it's exciting too in terms of future pace. Is there anything else you're like excited to implement AI wise? And
bro, I think at the speed that we're going, the most exciting thing is just what happens next. Because it's like right now, you can pretty much automate your whole agency to an extent.
Yeah.
But it's like there's always like these new tools coming out that's gonna make things even easier and even better. And like the tools get really good. Like there's some like really good tools out there that if you just do your research and find them, like you'll be like genuinely surprised.
So what tools are you using right now?
I'll give you one. Can I get one? Sesame AI, bro.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it? It's Sesame AI, right? Sesame.com. Go on there and talk to Miles, bro. Miles is the man.
Miles is
But just have a conversation with Miles, and then you'll be able to see. And if you're really spicy, you put Miles and the girl together to talk to each other. We've done that before. It was going crazy. But yeah, get them to talk to each other, and then just sit there and listen to their conversation. You're like, whoa, we're cooked.
Well, that's going to be all of the internet very soon. Yeah, if you believe in dead internet theory, AI agents talking to AI agents, because Google just dropped their I/O event like about a week or two ago, and they're having smart replies in Gmail. So it's an AI that replies to your emails in Gmail. So eventually it's going to be your AI agent is talking to my AI agent, and then it's going to be broader on social media. It's like all these Reddit forums are just AI talking to each other.
Yeah.
It's going to be AI talking to AI, and it's going to create this weird cluster that we're going to...
Nobody's going to want to be on the internet anymore.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to want to go back to like physical reality again.
Yep.
So I feel like industries like sports, entertainment, and something with physical people interacting are still going to be stable. But then again, on the other side, it's like when you look at, internet, TV, phones, iPads, technology, that actually pulled a lot of people out of social metrics.
Yep.
So in another way, it could almost compound, and we just won't even know until we see it happen. But it's going to be pretty crazy, right?
Yeah.
The Sesame AI is pretty cool too. If you guys don't know, that's like essentially like an AI call.
That's probably the best caller, like the best AI voice that you could talk to.
Yeah, and there's a couple ones. Like Sesame's a little bit tricky to set up for most agencies. They might not.
I don't think you can set up
at the time. Yeah, exactly. Like, because it's like almost hardcode developer stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which you're gonna have to get in it. And it comes back to like, yes, this AI can produce a crazy output, but I also need efficiency.
Yeah, exactly.
I need something that's easy and integrates with my operations. And that's where probably I would recommend steer more towards like Vappy or Synthflow.
Yeah. I mean, Synthflow is definitely the easiest for sure.
Synthflow's the easiest.
That's pretty good too.
Not the insane quality. Like Vappy's a little bit better.
Yeah. I mean, they're all like whatever.
But they all have pros and cons.
Yeah, they all have pros and cons.
So we have to test them out at the end of the day too. Have you played around with like AI chatbots yet?
Yeah, the GHL bot, we had that built out.
You're using the GHL feature?
Yeah, using the GHL feature. And then we have the other one as well. What's it called? Closebot.
Closebot.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, Closebot V2 is coming in a few days. So that's going to be exciting. So it's like literally I could tell you guys, hey, this is the best AI tool to use for this.
Yep.
But here's the thing. By the time that the video drops, my information is going to be already outdated, right?
Facts. That is actually facts.
It's going to be insane. Like right now, at the time of this filming, ChatGPT for most of your major consulting, right? ChatGPT, DALL-E for image creation. You use VO3 for video is still the best. And then I'd say for most AI callers, right, it's like you want to use probably Vappy is my biggest recommendation. And then chatbot's Closebot, right? So that's just
crazy. When this drops, there's probably gonna be another one.
Yeah, by the time it drops in a couple of days, it's literally gonna be a complete reset of all those software.
Actually,
and they're gonna be like, "Wait, you guys told people?
And then now we're using this one." And then the next video drops, and it's like, guys, we're actually selling our agencies.
Yeah, we're just selling our agencies, right? I don't even run an agency, but on my course,
on my course,
go full online guru. But no, I think it's really interesting, which why you need to be able to quickly implement and to use and test AI tool
for sure,
right? Which I feel like a position in our business that we're looking for right now, and arguably is going to be the most AI stuff.
That's probably my next hire. Like when I was really like thinking about it, hiring someone, even paying them like a little bit more, like almost $8,000 a month, you could really if you fork that out, then you have your AI strategist, you have your setter, you have your CSM, and you.
And the setter's gone pretty quick. Setter's gone soon.
I mean, Black Hunter's a man, bro. Shout out Nathan. I love you.
Great name.
Yep.
But it's really interesting too. Like you need to be able to be on the forefront and implement these softwares really quickly.
Yep.
The AI strategist, which if you guys don't know, it's essentially somebody that can come in to a business and leverage AI to either make you more money.
Like an ops manager.
Yeah, it's essentially like AI ops manager. But the thing is the strategies behind it, because there's two implementations for AI. I'm basically using AI to make more money. So to drive marketing, to drive sales conversions, or to save money, to either cut payroll costs, automation expenses, etc.
Without a doubt.
Right? And the person that can go into any business and show them how to make money with AI and save money with AI is going to be the most valuable position
for sure
in the game, right? And every position, guys, if you're like an employee at a company watching this, you need to leverage AI, because if you don't have an AI component to your job, most people aren't gonna hire you.
Yep.
Right. And another interesting thing that I think the model of the agency builds into is like, all right, you get to like 5-10K a month, and then you hire your first Filipino VA for a few dollars an hour, and then you might get graphic designer, editor, and you're hiring these small level positions and building up.
Yeah.
Now when I reset and I launched my second business, my agency, I actually did almost the opposite, where it's like I'm stacking from the top down.
Oh,
It's like, let me get the best community manager, let me get the best AI operator and the integrators. I'm working back down, the best funnel builders. So the higher level positions that are a little bit more costly are going to be even more important when you have. But the thing is, you have to have money capital.
Yeah, for sure.
So in other sense, make more fucking money, guys. So you can hire the big guys that will actually make you money and have 10 times more output.
That's it, bro.
Right? Because if you ever notice like your best call center rep compared to your worst call center rep, it's not much difference in pay. You maybe pay that best call center rep 10-20% more, but they produce 10 times more out.
Well, 100%. And it's just like dating those people. And my best call center rep built out my training modules for all the rest of the call centers.
Yeah.
They come in. So it's like really having that guy, leveraging him is super important.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the call center manager position, like reviewing calls,
How to like fired him.
Yeah, those are going to be replaced by AI.
Yeah.
Because like the sales bot that I was showing that I just dropped in the group, where you can have like Jeremy Minerox from Muzzy review all your sales calls, you can do the same thing for your call center. So even if you have a manual call center, have a bot that reviews all of your call center's calls. Because you don't know, a lot of call centers could be going off for weeks and saying some crazy shit, and you don't even know.
Yeah, I never even thought about doing that.
Exactly. Because most of the sales manager job, about 23% of it is just call reviews.
It literally just moves so quick. Those things. I just sit here, wake up, and there's like 50 things I could implement, bro.
Like, wake up, mom, new AI tool just dropped.
That ass.
Right, like go. So it's like, it's going to be a roller coaster for the next year or two. That's for sure. It's going to be an absolute roller coaster. So you need to strap the fuck in and need to learn base AI tools.
Yeah, I mean, bro, everybody at this point should have some sort of baseline. Even if it's you've been saying use ChatGPT for an hour a day ever since you linked up with Hi Lopez.
Yeah, exactly. And that was
That was like the only thing he ever told you, right? It was just like,
well, that was my one big takeaway. One big takeaway is he sat there in front of everybody and he said, use ChatGPT. He said 45 minutes a day. I upgraded to an hour.
Oh shit, there you go.
But I think that's probably one of the big things too. It's like, just start using and integrating with these tools.
Yeah.
And once you use them, you find out and you almost train your brain now.
Yeah.
Because before I would let's say I was going to write an ad, I would open up a Google Doc. I would sit there, okay, what am I going to think about strategy wise? And now with AI, it's reset. So now I immediately go into either ChatGPT or a Poppy AI or my AI tool. And I say, hey, I need an ad for this. Give me 1,000 variations.
Yeah.
And then I'm filtering through these, right? So instead of me coming up and creating the ideas that would take a lot of time, it's now coming up with the ideas and I'm more so filtering through and choosing the best pieces. Yeah. That's going to be a lot of AI leverage tools. It's like people using AI to leverage a shit ton of output and then filtering through the output to pick the key integral parts and then leveraging that. So
I'm kind of retarded to be up there. But when Nathan just talks, you're just like soaking in. You're like, God damn, bro. Like, I'm not doing enough for sure.
You're smart. Wait,
I remember when I think it was like last week. We're like, bro, or no, this was like 3 weeks ago. We were on the phone and then we were like, what did we say? We were like, this is when you first dropped like a little like piece of sauce in the group. I remember we were sitting there. It was like 3 a.m. at this point. And we were like, bro, we can't go to sleep, bro. Like there's literally like you can't afford to sleep now,
Yes.
right? Just because how much shit is dropping. So that's pretty nuts. But
And that's crazy. And I've never felt like this amount of excitement too in business. Like when I first started, yes.
Yeah.
But the thing is with like traditional SMA, I started my agency almost 4 years ago. Like almost 4 years ago, right? And the thing is, when I started, I was behind the curve. SMA was already, there was people already saying SMA was it when I started it. And when I started SMA coaching program, that was already cooked. You know what I mean? But now with AI, this is the opportunity.
But there hasn't really good tools dropping in a really long time. Like now we're seeing, like there was a lot of, there's some drops that I bought, and that they weren't as promised, or they weren't as good as promised.
Area high, like
Area, there's a couple, bro, but I don't want to name drop. But there was some pretty shit tools that I purchased, and they said it was like the next revolution.
Yeah.
But there hasn't really been a solid tool for a minute. I think like the last solid tool I bought was probably Fathom, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't even buy it; it was free.
Yeah.
So that was probably like the really
One's not even like AI.
no, it was just like the best tool that I've like took in like a really long time. But now that everything's dropping, it's like now your software cost is going to go up, but then your employee cost is going to go down.
And that's a really good point, because what we're entering the application era of AI, right? Where we had ChatGPT came out almost 2 years ago. Where is it? Almost 2 years ago. And I remember when we sat there, we played around with it for like an hour or two, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then life just goes back to normal. You don't really use it for much. Yeah. But then now it's like, all right, we have all these base tools, ChatGPT, Claude, all these base AIs, but how do we apply this now to deliver certain results or solve certain problems? And I used to think like there's a lot of softwares, a lot of these AI tools are just ChatGPT wrappers,
Yeah.
right? Or just using Chat.
There's so many. Like a lot of people are like, use this one. It's like, but it's literally the same thing as ChatGPT.
Exactly. But the thing, and I used to be really hesitant on that. And I'd be like, I would never want a business like that. Like you're just relying off of beta software. But the thing is that those softwares will allow you to apply it in certain ways easier, like Poppy AI. They're a software. I met the co-founders of them doing 500K plus a month on their road to $1 million. And it's just essentially a Miro board plus AI tools, for lack of better terms.
So I haven't even looked at Poppy yet.
Oh yeah, we got to drop. I got a full course having here pretty soon. Link in bio. But anyway, these AI tools, right, are coming out with tremendous speed. Yeah. Right. We had the first AI tools drop, and now before it was like AI tool drops once every couple of months, maybe. Yeah. But now it's like a new one every single day.
Well, every day.
Every day. So with that being said, you guys, you have to absolutely be on the forefront of artificial intelligence if you want to succeed in this business world. Like it's not fear mongering when I say this, like it will replace a large portion of jobs.
You know what I think a big piece was up until this point, you didn't really have to be smart to do SMMA.
Yeah.
Like you really didn't have to be smart. Everyone was pretty much succeeding. You could hit, 10, 20K a month pretty easily without really like knowing what you're doing that easily. But now I feel like now it's really like a pivoting moment where you actually like kind of have to be a little bit smarter to really adapt these things and build these things out, like webhooks, all these like little things. Like, I didn't even know how to do a webhook till like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And like you really have to get smarter at doing these things in order for you to be able to implement these things into your business and actually stay competitive with other people.
Right, exactly. And that's the big thing, is like implementation and moving fast, which is already the big thing. I feel like the most 100K a month agency owners that I see before, like a lot of the ones that went through the program, tend to be really good at operations. Yeah. Right. And I feel like that's going to be the skill set as you're using more AI tools. It's like software, it's integration, it's automations and AI. So you have to start building that skill set. And I remember I used to tell myself when I was at 10, 20, 30K a month, I'm marketing and sales. I'm not the best at product. I'm marketing and sales. I'm marketing and marketing. But then when you actually sit down and you do the operations, you find out, oh, it's not that hard. And, oh, I'm actually pretty good at this. And, oh, I can copy Nathan's free YouTube content or get into Nathan's programs and copy and paste a lot of this. And then you're already above 99% of people operational. That's it. Which is a big thing too, because a lot of people we see in the SMA space run up and make a little bit of money and then they drop off the next one. Drop off fast. But consistent 100K a month agency owners that I see tend to be pretty good operationally focused, right?
Fair enough, yeah.
Which is a big thing as well too. So
streamlining everything isn't as simple as you think it is. Yeah, right. It's not as simple, especially like when you're trying to streamline. You already have like 70 clients. And you want to streamline this one thing. Like you need to implement this one thing for 70 people.
For so
Right. Obviously, if you charge a lot fatter retainers, then you only have to do it for like 5.
right.
But up until like now, it's like, boy, I want to change one big thing. Like everything becomes like way bigger when I want to change something because I need to implement it across the board for everybody.
Yeah, which is why having like an AI centric operator is going to be crazy because a new AI tool drops and you're like, all right, now I have to leverage this for all my clients.
Yes.
You have to have a person in your business.
And then not only you have to have that, you have to have a community or somebody that stays on top of when everything drops.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I remember when VO3 dropped.
Yeah.
Like the second on the webinar, I had a phone call from Sebastian, and he was like, come FaceTime me, da 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 da. Watching the webinar together. Like, God damn, bro, we're so cooked. It was like the second it dropped, like you already knew exactly what it was. So you're the quickest one to implement, or at least start playing around with it, of course.
Yeah, a big hack for you guys too, if you want to keep up to date, is stop scrolling and staring at this OnlyFans content on Instagram.
It's hard, bro. It's hard, but
I know, yeah, all right, we're all men here, but here's a quick hack, right? As I retrained my Reels algorithm to send me more AI content. What you can do is you optimize your real content based off of shares. When you share content with other people on the platform, Facebook and Instagram will feed you that content. So if you share racist memes with your friends, Facebook is going to feed you racist memes over and over again. Gotta get bricked. You gotta get bricked, bro. But when it comes to the algorithm, start sharing reels with your team members. Like I even have a separate Instagram account that's like all AI focused too, so that I send and receive reels within that account, and now all of my shit is AI. Man, that account is only it, right? That's a lot of sauce. Like that's how I stay so.
my whole Instagram page is a straight ass.
And when I can't even scroll on Instagram anymore. Dude, like it's so bad. I can't even scroll on Instagram because every time I'm on Instagram for 10 minutes, it's like new crazy AI tool, new crazy AI use case. And I can't even do it without having to apply 20 different things.
Fair enough. Yeah,
It's interesting. So let's pull back for a second. Thomas, how old are you?
21,
And how much money did you make this month?
72.5.
God damn. So far. Yeah, he's got a couple more calls.
Yeah.
What would you say to people that are still hesitant about maybe getting into like coaches, courses, and programs? Because a big objection right now is like, dude, I could just ask ChatGPT, right?
Bro. I mean, look, courses, there's actually not a lot of really good courses anymore.
Oh.
Like I swear when I first started, I mean, I guess now like the knowledge and stuff, it's a lot more higher level. But like when I first started, there's some pretty good ones that, we all met inside of,
Yep.
which was super cool. But then after that dissolved, then, there's a lot more smaller courses. And even though I'm at a level where it's like, I still need a course that I need knowledge, but I could afford just paying one-on-one for somebody to just talk to instead of me being in a course. But the most important thing is the community and everybody bouncing ideas off each other. And not only that, but being in a group where the owner of it is not only doing it and has done it, but then is constantly dropping new sauce inside of it. So you can always just stay on top of it. So the most important thing with a course is that you're paying for not having to just scroll YouTube for hours to try to find one piece of content, but you have a community to leverage and then also to always fall back on when you have any questions.
Exactly. And that's the thing
I think about AI Revolution or Steal My Agency. Both of these are really good. And being inside of these, there's a lot of really good people. You meet a lot of really cool people. And when you have any questions, you always drop it in the chat, or you just ask Nathan, or you hop on any Zoom calls. All of your answers will be cool. All your questions will be answered 90% of the time.
I love that. And guys, like this is me being unbiased. Get into AI communities and be in touch with people that are leveraging AI and doing the things that you want to do with it.
Staying ahead of the curve. Like if you're not paying for knowledge, then yes, you could definitely find it on YouTube. But you have to scroll through YouTube pretty heavily. And not only that, but you have to see which one's legit and which one's not legit, which one's just like an affiliate trying to make some money off of you, and which one's actually like somebody genuinely giving you solid help. If you're already in a group that you're paying for, you're not really going to get anything more out of it if like the guy just gives you an affiliate code to drop some like bullshit AI tool. But you have to actually have people that are using these AI tools every single day to give you that same knowledge.
Absolutely. And what would you say for people that are still maybe like hesitant to getting into AI, getting into, the AI program, to getting into Steal My Agency?
If somebody's hesitant, bro, just don't do it. I'll just say, just don't do it. If you're hesitant, more money for us. So, but yourself.
He said don't
Don't move forward with it, bro.
yeah.
Stay in your bubble, bro. It's it's not as good as you think it is for sure. I would say just keep doing what you're doing, bro. You're definitely gonna get it someday. But yeah, just don't do it.
Keep doing that manifestation.
Yeah, keep manifesting. Keep standing in front of your little red light therapy. Keep doing monk mode, and you got it, bro. 100%.
Got it, bro. Absolutely. Don't join my program. It's too much good feedback, right? Yeah, man. So Thomas, wrap it up here really quick. What is your like big piece of advice for somebody that's maybe like starting or scaling an agency in 2025? What's your like big point and takeaway?
The number one thing is probably delayed gratification, right? When you're first starting out, it seems really big. There's so much things. You don't want to sleep at night. Like I have one of my close friends that I grew up with. He got inspired by me. I didn't even talk to him or anything.
Yeah.
He just started an agency and he bought some like random guy's course and I gave him your info. But he bought some like random guy's course and just started an agency. And then he called me. He's like, yo, I actually started my agency. I got a client and stuff. I was like, oh shit. I didn't even know that. Right. But the one piece of advice that I gave him just when starting out is delayed gratification is the most important thing. Most people have never really done anything hard in their life, so they don't know what it feels like to just keep doing something without seeing any results. But for the people that have, starting an agency or doing any sort of business model is pretty easy because they know for a fact that if they continue doing one thing every single day and keep waking up in the morning, keep doing the same thing every single day, at some point, everything will explode.
Exactly, man. It's like if you're trying to get jacked or you're trying to get shredded,
Yeah.
and you go to the gym every single day, you push in heavy work. For some people, genetics or based off of your circumstances, you might have to work harder. I didn't have any daddy's money. I didn't have any startup capital. I had to work from literally zero,
Yep.
from a $15 an hour job to fund this thing. But
Me too.
if you apply the work and you actually do the effort consistently, you will be successful in the long term.
For sure.
There's people that expect get rich quick scheme.
Bro, there's no sort of get rich quick scheme, bro. Like there are some people that claim that there is. There isn't. There's really none.
Let's ask a question here. How long did it take you to hit your first 10K in life?
Did 10K a month? Oh shit. I think it probably took me a little bit under than a year, probably like 10 months. No, not even. I think to get my first client, it took me 6 months. And then I think it took me around 13 months to hit 10K. I'm pretty sure.
And it was pretty similar for me. You guys kind of know my story now, but I had my first initial client. It took me probably 6 months to get my next one.
But I feel like that's doing it properly. Like there's some people that will claim in their like courses or whatever they're selling that you hit 10K in 30 days.
Yeah.
You can. But you're not going to do it ethically 100%. There's no way you can learn how to market, how to do everything by yourself in 30 days or even with a coach, bro. Like,
yeah,
you don't never want to go into a program with the expectation that you're going to just like get rich in 30 days, even though some people claim that you will. You just be smart, bro.
exactly. You see, I never put guarantees on myself for exact reason.
Bro, exactly. There's no point.
So I think that delayed gratification is a really good point to end it on. I do like that one a lot, guys. It's like the good things come to those who wait. And if it's difficult, like Alex Hermosi said, be glad that it's difficult.
Yep.
Because that means that the amount of people that will get to your level is going to be less and less. And I'm glad that SMMA, the agency game, is more difficult these days. Because it's more difficult, that means that there's more money to make for me. It's harder for newbies like, some of you guys watching it to get into that, yes. But it's by far still the best vehicle, right? Because right now, when we come into AI, you're essentially looking at two things. How do I use AI to go into businesses and make them money and save them money, right? The best way to make people money and go into any local business is usually running some type of ads. It's a traditional marketing setup, but now we can save them money with AI and these AI tools as well.
Pair that up together, GG's.
Yeah, so keep pushing, guys. Get to the next level. No matter what level you're at, a lot of the 100K a month, 200K a month people that you meet, 70K a month people, it takes a little bit of time to build up. But if you put consistent effort in 24/7, 365, you are bound to get the result eventually.
100%.
Every business model works if you put in the enough effort. Now, here's the thing. Choose the right business model that will compound a little bit quicker.
Don't do like trading or something, bro.
Dropshipping,
Forex. Yeah, no, I think we should start the next one. Is probably like a Forex, land brand scaling group.
Yeah, freelance, brand scaling, growth, infrating, growth operating, right? Like whatever it is.
Link in bio, bro.
Absolutely, man. So, brother Thomas, I could talk to you all day, bro. I know we got to wrap it up, man. That was great stuff, brother. Good stuff. Totally crushed.
100%, man.
Bold.
And guys, if you're skeptical about joining Nathan's group, Like, he's a real person. Like, he's not AI. And I definitely, out of all groups, the only group I'm inside of is your group. Even though I could probably financially afford any group I could, I'm still only in Nathan's group. So if that says anything, this says something.
You heard it here.